Hi, everyone. This is Anna, one of your consumer technology specialists at Mid-Continent Public Library. Today, we are going to start a series on creating our own website using the free website builder WordPress. To get started, you will have to have a WordPress account, so you may need to create one and get yourself logged in. And if it is your first time using the WordPress website, you may be led directly through the process of setting up your first site by picking a theme and a domain name, a URL. I already have an account, so when I log in, I end up here, which is the My Home page. It's basically your account dashboard or your account homepage. And to create a new site from here, I'm going to click in the top left corner of my web page where it says Switch Site, and any sites that I have created or am working on are going to be listed here. And if I look down at the bottom of this menu, there is a button to add new site. So I'm going to click on that. And the very first thing it's going to have me do is choose a domain name. So this is going to be the URL that people will use or see when they navigate to your site. I'm planning on creating a reader's advisory website for teens. So I'm going to go ahead and type YA Readers, which goes with my young adult reader's advisory theme. And when I type in the domain name field, I'm going to get a list of results. So these are domain options that are currently available. And to get a very clean domain name, you do need to pay. What I mean by that is if you want to make sure it's the simplest URL possible with no extra numbers, or if you don't want WordPress to be part of the web address, you would need to pay for a more premium plan with WordPress. I'm just going to make a free site. So I'm going to go ahead and click select for the free version. I'm not too worried about the URL. So here again, they are offering me paid domains, but I'm going to click start with a free site under the choose a plan title. So now it's going to ask me about my goals for the site. I'm actually going to skip these questions by clicking the link in the top right corner that says skip to dashboard. I'm skipping these really so that I can see all the possible templates in just a minute. So this takes me back to my account homepage. I'm going to go down on the left side menu and choose Appearance, and then I'm going to select Themes, which is under the Appearance section. So this is going to show me all the website templates, which they are calling themes. I know I don't want to look at any premium themes, so the first thing that I'm going to do is click free over here on the right side. There still are a lot of themes for me to choose from, so I'm just going to scroll down and look through until I see something interesting. And when I find one I like, I'll hover my cursor over it and click where it says Info. And here I can see a little more information about the template. And I can also click the Open Live Demo link to get a better preview. They actually do let you preview it for a desktop, tablet, or phone, which is pretty nice. If I didn't want this theme, I would just click close on the left, but I do like this one. So I'm going to go ahead and click activate here on the right side. And now it's asking me if I want to keep my homepage content or switch it to a new theme. Since I haven't done anything with my homepage yet, I'm going to go ahead and choose the replace option, and then I will click activate and edit site. So now it has taken me to the site editor. This is where I'll make all the changes to customize the look of my website. The first thing I see is this little box in the upper left corner, and it says site logo when I hover over it. I do not want that, so I'm going to delete it. And if I look in the menu bar right above this icon, the lower row is going to change depending on what I have selected. So I'm going to click the More menu here, and then when I do, at the bottom of this list is an option to remove. While I'm right over here, I'm going to go ahead and change the site title as well. I can even give it a tagline just for fun because it's already in here. I'm not going to worry about the home link in this header right now. As I look at the site, it might be helpful to be able to see the hierarchy of different pieces. So WordPress calls each piece a block. I can see this by going to the icon of it's like 3 cascading lines. And here I can see that I am working in the header area of my site, and I currently have the site tagline highlighted. Some of these can be expanded or hidden by clicking the little caret. So when I hide the list of header blocks, I can see there's a spacer between the header and the next part of the site. Spacer is exactly what it sounds like. It adds blank space to your page. I don't really like the space there, so I'm just going to click the More menu for the spacer right from this list and then click Remove Spacer. So that just bumps the next section up, and I think that looks a little bit better. And then if I look at this group in my list view, see there's a padlock icon here. If I open my menu for that group, I do have an option to unlock, so I'm going to click on that. And it looks like the Prevent Removal option is selected. I'm going to uncheck that option so that I can remove parts of the group if I want to. And then I'll click Apply. And now I can actually remove the entire group if I want. And that leaves me with nothing on my page except the header and footer. I'm doing this, and now I can start adding my own blocks to the page by clicking the plus sign up here on the left. So there are actually blocks or patterns available in this menu. Blocks are just going to be one piece of a site, like a text box or something. Patterns, on the other hand, are going to be pre-made sections of a page. So there are all these topics listed. I'm going to go ahead and look at the About patterns. So I just click the word About, and then I get a list of thumbnail previews with pre-made options. And I can scroll through them, and if I see one I like, I can add it to my page by clicking on the thumbnail and dragging it over to my workspace. I also want to add a stream of blog posts to my homepage, so I'm going to click the plus sign again and find blogs in my patterns list. And then when I find one that I like, I again will drag it onto my workspace. So now if I scroll, I can see both of my new sections. I actually meant to put the About section before the blog posts. So I'm going to use these little arrows here to move the sections into the right place. And if I go to my list view now, I can see everything I've added. I can expand to see all the blocks that make up each section, and somehow I ended up with another spacer. So I'm going to try to move it between the two sections that I just added, and I can do that right from my list by clicking and dragging. And it didn't go where I wanted it to go. It went into the group. So actually, it is kind of hard to move it this way, apparently. So now it's back in the first section. Honestly, I'm not going to worry about it right now. I can take it out later if I want to. It's not really doing anything. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the blocks menu now because I want to add some blocks. Instead of having different topics like an about section, I have a text section and then options for paragraph, quotes, and I want to add a heading to the blog section. So I'm going to go ahead and click heading and drag it onto my workspace just above where the blog section starts. And I'm going to go ahead and type recommended reading as my title. I don't know that I like it centered, so I'm going to go up here to the blocks menu and change the width to wide. And what this did was it made the width the same as the blog section right below it. It also changed the alignment to left aligned instead of center. And apologies, I had a blip in my screen recording. But what I'm ready to do now is customize the colors and fonts on my page. I'm selecting my site title, and then I'm going to go over to the upper right area of my site editor. And this icon says that it's the settings. So it's actually the settings for the look of the website. And to change the color of the text I have selected, I'll just go here under this color section and click where it says text. And I'm going to pick a few colors to customize my site. I know orange looks good with blue, so I'm going to go ahead and start with that. And when I select home, I have a different list under the color section. That's because home is actually my navigation menu. So when I start adding more pages, there will be more options here. And the sub-menu colors refer to that. I can actually also make my tagline a different color. I just need to select it and then change my text color. I'm going to continue doing this moving down the site page. So I'm going to make this section an About Me type section, but we're going to say that multiple librarians are going to be contributing to this site. So I'm going to title it Who We Are, and I think I'm going to make all the titles orange. So I'll change the color, and then the paragraph color I'm going to make green like the tagline. Then for this button here, I'm going to make the background purple and the text white. So see how that changes the look of the button? And then I am going to finish changing the colors all the way down my site using the same method. This would be a really long video if I did it all in real time. So I have sped up this part so that we can get a little farther along before the end of our time today. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to change this picture. It doesn't really go with our theme. It's just a placeholder. So I'll select it, and then in the block menu, I'm going to click Replace, then Select Media, and then Pexels Free Photos. All the photos I'm going to find on Pexels are free use copyright, so I know I'm not going to get into any trouble using a picture from this site. So it's really handy that it's built into the WordPress website editor. So I'm just going to find a picture of books to add, and then I'll select and click the select button when I find the one I like. And since this template has the picture in a landscape orientation, I'm going to choose a new picture that's in that same orientation. And it's not the exact same size or ratio, but it looks pretty good on the site here. Now I'm going to add a button to my header. And I want to make it look just like the one in the Who We Are section. So one way I can do this is by selecting the header section and then clicking this plus sign that appears in the bottom right corner of the section. This gives me a smaller version of the blocks menu, and I can use the little search box here to find the button block, and then I just click it and add it to my header. I'm going to update it to say recommend a title, and then I'm going to change the colors to match my other button. This is really starting to look like a page, which is exciting. We're at the end of the time that we have for today, but definitely check back for part 2 because we're going to finish some formatting on this page and then work on adding additional pages to our website. That's it for today's video. If you liked it, make sure you let us know by following our MCPL 360 page on Facebook and our MCPL MO channel on YouTube. We premiere new videos every Wednesday and Friday at 1 p.m. And if you missed the live event, you can always find all of our videos on YouTube on one of our many technology-related playlists on our YouTube channel. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you again next time.